we're really fortunate to have taken our passion and turned it into a living.
Yeah.
Really, I don't think I could live any other way, honestly.
No. So we're the owners of Far North Fungi. We grow gourmet and medicinal mushrooms here in Anchorage, Alaska.
The blue oyster we sell to restaurants year-round, and now that we're growing lion's mane, we'll also sell to restaurants year-round.
So chaga is a parasitic fungus that grows on birch trees.
It's a medicinal mushroom that we collect and make tinctures out of. It's very high in antioxidants, and that's the primary reason that people take it every day. So we have a hammer and a chisel. It's pretty much like a rock.
So yeah, you can see the outer part is this really charcoal-looking black stuff, and then underneath there's like a light brown. And so you want to cut in kind of right at the interface, but you don't want to dig into the tree.
Start here and try to go straight down, or see if we can get this one off.
But yeah, I had no idea it was a mushroom.
And it's technically not a mushroom fruiting body.
Right.
It's the sclerotia part. The mushroom that fruits is under the bark.
Oh. Weird fungus, definitely.
So that was pretty good.
So we got into chaga first off because we had a lot of people coming to the market knowing us as the mushroom people and requesting chaga. And so we did a little more research and learned that more of it grows up here than anywhere else in the country. And we started kind of foraging that. Ooh, nice.
There's also a lot of promising research on chaga. None have been done in large-scale human trials, but there's a lot of stuff that's been done in the lab with human tissue cells showing like tumor suppression.
This took probably 5, maybe even 7 years, given how big it is to get to this size.
So that's when we try and leave obvious signs of the chaga still on the outside, not scraping it down all the way to the bark, just because then you'll make mistakes and end up cutting into the tree, kind of opening up for other infections.
The kind of interest in chaga has gone from 0 to 1,000 over the last like decade or so.
So I think the worry is that if there's 5 to 10 years of kind of serious harvesting, you know, especially in South Central here, that it might disappear in 20 years or something.
We try to be cognizant of that when doing any sort of harvesting, kind of the 1 to 3 method. For every 3 mushrooms you see, you harvest 1.
That's kind of one of the reasons that we only do the tincture and we actually don't sell the chunks, just because we want to make sure that out of those, the chemicals that people are looking for, that's the way to get the most out of a given amount.
Nice.
Yeah, we might as well just bottle all this. If you tried to eat it, you'd probably be pretty disappointed. It's definitely got to be made into tea or something else. Like the general way that people do it is chaga tea, which you would just make like a normal cup of black tea. But the problem there is that you're getting out only a fraction of kind of the medicinal compounds that are in the mushroom.
So tincture is just a hyper-concentrated extract.
Yeah.
So now that we've harvested this chaga, we want to process it in the first 24 hours. And then in the tincture, we want to include all parts of the chaga. So we get the black out part that's really concentrated with the melanin. We also want to get the white that has the mycelium. And then the orange, kind of brown, is the sclerotia. We want to make sure to get all of that in the tincture because they all have different compounds. And then we'll just top that off with alcohol. So we'll label this with the date, today's date, and what's in the jar, and then we'll let it sit for 3 months on the shelf here at the kitchen. And then we will start this process where we take the alcohol and we filter out the chaga, and then we start the tea concentrate and combine the two to make the tincture.
I can add a dropper full of this to my coffee in the morning.
That's really good.
Finding a partner who is, you know, more than just the relationship and more than just the business kind of, yeah, makes it awesome.
Every now and then we'll kind of have date nights where we're not allowed to talk about mushrooms because we just will keep going. And at a certain point, that's not healthy. We have to shut it off. Even though we enjoy talking about it.
Yeah, you don't want to go into the work week and then having fiendishly talked about mushrooms and schemed about mushrooms, and then suddenly Monday rolls around and yeah, you've got a 10-hour day of growing mushrooms ahead of you. It can be a bit much for sure.
Sometimes we step on each other's toes.
There's toe stepping involved. But for the most part, Allison is kind of the lab manager.
And Gabe's more gregarious than I am, and so he, I would say, is more the face of the business, kind of doing the parts that I'm too shy to do.
Except when we need an attractive face, then we whip out the big guns. But it's kind of a lifestyle thing. That's kind of where it's like, I don't know if this would work with a partner who wasn't into it. Like, I can't imagine someone just putting up with Petri dishes in the fridge and like insanity all the time. Like, I just don't see that working with someone who wasn't like kind of nuts about it as well.
It smells so good.
Yeah, it does.
I think what I love about mushrooms is I can take my passions like backpacking and turn that into a career where I'm going out and foraging, and at the same time I get to do it with my best friend.
Yeah, it's definitely, it is pretty sweet. It'll be sweeter, I think, when we're out of like the first 5, 2 to 3 to 5 years, where then you can have vacations and stuff. Like I'm looking forward to that, but I definitely enjoy the freedom associated with kind of getting to choose what we work on and what we want to pursue.